You sorry two-timing son of a bitch! This piece of trash screwed over his dad, and now screws over his mommy as well! Is he? He's here! He's here! He's here! Roman Reigns is here! Yes, he is! Holy hell! Roman Reigns has returned! Burn it
The
down!
top of wrestling with the Professor and ODM. Let's start the show.
Burn it down!
Fine.
Good. No, it's not. What the fuck was that? What kind of intro was that, dude? What did you do to Seth Rollins' song? I'm fucking with you. I like that. I like that.
I could have done a
version.
better job, but, it is what it is. It served its purpose. Let's put it that way.
I said it's so terrible, it's fucking awesome. Maybe it's a new trend. Maybe it's a new trend we should start doing every now and then. Who knows?
Kayfabe, pal. I was sitting here yesterday, and at some point, the house was empty, and I'm like, I can belt this out, and I won't feel ashamed of myself, and I can just do it in 2 seconds. We'll be good to go. And then I did it. I said, you know what? I'm not redoing this. It's a one take. We're done here.
That's how I felt when I did the Fozzy one.
Yeah.
What is it? The
Oh, yeah.
titties on my mind? Or,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's how. Yeah, we should have just did the dinner Le Debonair. We should
No.
have our own version. No.
Well,
All right,
maybe.
Yeah, well, we only have 2 episodes left to the end of this season, and then things are gonna shake up a bit, or will they? Or will things stay the same? But it'll at least be better than anything AEW is producing. We'll get into that today. But we also will be getting into SummerSlam, the fallout from it with everything in Raw. I don't even know if I fucking said this. We are the Top of Wrestling Podcast. I am the Professor. He is ODM, and we're here on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the X. And, man, I'm excited about today's show because, surprisingly, both Raw and Nitro were really, really good. I actually enjoyed both shows. Or I was under the influence. Not sure. But it is the arrival of Y2J, and with that influence, why I bring that up is because I marked out for a WCW moment. I forgot this was happening. And when it happened, I was like...
Well, they teased it at the... If you're talking about what I think, they teased it at the beginning.
Yes, but I'm just saying, it was just... Sometimes it's cool to see something like that, but we'll get into it. We got news. We got to bring it to the table. And this week's top topic, we're going to argue it out probably for a long 1 to 2 seconds. And it is the Beatles. Are they that great, or are they overrated? I think we both know.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
Yeah, no.
Can I interrupt you for a second? You're making
Yeah,
it really...
I'm used to doing it to you, so it might as well make the trend on the show. Go.
It's going to be really hard to concentrate today with your backdrop photo. I figured I'd just bring that up on the air here. It'd be very hard to concentrate.
You are welcome. It's part of our logo, as you see where... Looks like Solo's kind of staring at something. You're welcome to all you fans out there as well. Great shot. And as people have said, that whoever took that picture earns a
Nobel Peace Prize, something. Yeah, I don't know.
So, did you watch SummerSlam live?
Nope. Watched it on Sunday. Kid had a gig at
Same.
Iron Smoke on Saturday, so we were there.
Nice.
And yeah, man.
Kind of jealous, man. Your boy's playing at some really awesome venues that I never even had a chance to even play in. You know what I mean? And Iron Smoke is no joke. It's actually a really good venue.
It's their favorite. They love them there.
Aren't they supposed to be opening for, and I could be wrong, like a Van Halen tribute band or something?
No, they opened for a Doors tribute band at Photo City recently. They put on a good show. Hung around for the Doors tribute band. Crystal Ship is the name of their band. It's fucking hilarious. We might as well just fucking go on a tangent here since we're talking about it. Sure. You're a Doors fan. You're a Doors fan, right? Sort of.
I mean, honestly,
all right.
Hits.
All right.
I never really got deep into them.
I'm not I might know a couple deep cuts, but whatever, man. It's fucking hilarious. So I get there, and Javi and his buddy are talking to the guitarist for this band. And this guy was just shooting a shit with him. Super cool. And then I see a guy walk out of the back, and he's got, kind of like the receding hairline, jet black hair. He obviously dyed it, tied in a ponytail, but he had the chops. So I'm like, well, that's fucking the guy that's Ray Manzarek. That's your fucking keyboardist right there. And, bro, their keyboard setup, if you looked at a picture of the Doors back from the fucking late 60s, it's the same fucking keyboard setup. Like, they went tits out. They got the exact hardware. It was fucking impressive.
The way they did.
It was impressive. But here's the fucked up thing. These motherfuckers get on stage. The keyboardist put on a wig.
Oh, Jesus.
To look like... yeah. Now... another note.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Yeah. Another in the same suit that Ray Manzarek wore on stage. They had a bass player. Doors didn't have a bass player, so that's weird. The guitarist had the Gibson SG, and he fingerpicked like Robbie Krieger did. So all right, but holy fucking hell, the guy playing Jim Morrison must have been a method actor. He had the boots, the leather pants with the same belt, the open shirt, the hair, the beard. He stood on the speakers at one point and had a bottle of water and was spitting water out onto the floor. He went the fucking full tits, though. I did laugh, though. I did get a reaction because the parents of the other kids in my kids' band were there, and they stuck around and they played 20th Century Fox. She's a 20th century, right? But when he did it, he said, she's and he held the mic out. So I fucking yelled it out. And the parents look at me like, where the fuck you come from? and then the fucking blunt kicked in, and I fucking had to sit on a couch for the next half an hour and listen to him.
But,
did I say that part out loud?
1
My
out
bad.
of 10. 1 out of 10.
Music?
I don't care. No, music.
Overall.
I'm talking just music.
Just music.
Yeah.
7.
All right. I'm like, it's funny when people go out and buy like all these giant ass rigs and they have to have it the same. And I mean, it's funny if you're in a Rush tribute band, that's a lot of drums.
Yeah, no shit, right?
But my point is like, don't mean shit if you can't play and sound good.
Sure.
So that's why I bring it up. But hey, I'm pretty fucking sure, almost 90% sure, maybe even a little bit more. It was a wrestling show. Let's move on. Here we go. SummerSlam. Okay, so I didn't watch live either. I ended up watching on Sunday. I'll get into that and bring it to the table. But, my God. You got a lot of naysayers out there. Some reporters in particular. And I'll let you lose your mind on that soon. But I think top to bottom, I think it was a really, really good show. The only match that was like, and I didn't care about was Bayley and Nia Jax. And I was like, perfect time to cook up the nuggets.
Exactly.
I was like, got to get them in order. Let's get on with it.
So side note,
overall,
that match, agreed, was the only bad match.
But everybody needed that one match. Everybody did, especially in that order.
A bathroom break, yeah. So Weezy was over watching, and we were watching that match, and at one point, Nia Jax, I think she only got like a 2 count or something. She's leaning up against the ropes, and she just starts licking her lips, and Weezy goes, gross. So Nia Jax's new nickname is Gross.
Okay. Nia Gross. So we... we like to keep our tally of things going, things that we call. I said, nah, man, Bayley's retained. You said, no, they made her king, or they made her queen of the ring. They're going to put the championship on her. So you called it, and it's in our column. I know that we're in the mid part of the pay-per-view, but we might as well just bring it up since we already just talked about it. I was kind of shocked by it, but Nia did dethrone. But how it happened, the false cash-in from Tiffany Stratton, well done. Because I was at the table, back turned during this match, and I heard her music, and they go, oh my God. And I turned, and I went, no, they're going to do it. And then how everything went, I go, oh, that was a smart little move. Not bad. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the only redeeming factor. I thought Tiffany Stratton might cash in afterwards. I actually added a note to the predictions. I saw you put some stuff in there. No, I saw you put the stuff in there. Yes. I called this entire card top to bottom.
Yes, you did. The only thing I called, but I did call that it was going to be, because you were a little off on the first match. You were bringing up Finn Balor with Liv and all
spaghetti
this
pot,
because No, but I'm saying I said ever since Liv took out Rhea,
sure,
Dom is going to turn on and be with her. And look at, man, Rhea, you're mine, but I'm not yours. This one over here is making him chicken tendies as much as he wants, and you only live inside her once. Oh, dear God.
Oh, dear God.
It's funny because I saw the press conference afterwards, and Triple H goes, a lot of people are like, oh, man, I want to be Dom. I would not want to be Dom right now with Rhea Ripley that mad.
Did you see?
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Some fan got a shot of them kissing on the ramp, but it was like from the opposite side, and you can see they fucking went to town. There was some tongue going on. And so, and the caption was like, how the fuck are you going to be married and giving this broad tongue? So I'm like,
my wife said the same thing when we were watching, because she goes, he's married, right? And I go, yeah, he's living a really good life right now.
He's living his best life.
And poor Bo Dallas, I mean, I get you got your new thing going on, but she's like, hey, I'm going to break it off because I'm going to whore it up on TV now. I ain't complaining. Loved it. The crucifix powerbomb was unbelievable.
Bro.
Dude,
honestly,
I like their match. They got the place hot. They got them going.
Honestly, that was one of my favorite matches of the fucking night.
Same.
The story progressed, and the thing where Dom grabbed the chair out of her hands, at first I'm like, oh, this is the turn, and then he's like, you can't win like this. You can't win the title like this. I was like,
as soon as he did that, I go,
no, exactly.
Even there, I go,
it was a good delay. Yeah. It was the swerve to the swerve, but it was well played. And dude, her pulling the rigs on the announce table.
Oh my God! So during when she did that, I told my wife, I go, a little Lethal Weapon style. But I also brought up to her our conversation about Will Ospreay and how the doctor pulled it out. And she goes, no, because she works in healthcare too. You know what I mean?
Right.
She goes, no, that's not how you do it. Nah. But then when she started doing it, and she goes, and then Rhea did it twice, Hillary goes, do you think that was a purposeful dig at them, being like, no, this is how you would really do it? And I go, I don't know necessarily, but it was cool. I liked how Rhea did it twice. It was awesome. And I wanted her to do the thing like Riggs, though, where he like screams.
No, it was great, though, because she did it, and the place fucking popped.
Yeah.
The place popped, and then she kind of gets that look like, oh, there it goes. She just starts moving her arm around. I was like, yeah, no, the match, it was a great match. Great match.
Everything was done well done. Minus one little minor thing, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. Rhea's so mad, and all I could do was look at the fucking black lipstick on her goddamn teeth.
Yeah.
I was like, is that a dead tooth?
Yeah.
Maureen with the dead tooth. In a very quick match, and from what I've read online, this one was cut in half, time-wise, which, good. It didn't need to be any longer. Braun Breaker won the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn. Did you get to see the video of the Steiners up in the press box with DDP watching them win it?
No, I didn't see that.
Cool video. Cool video.
All right, I'll check that out.
One of the best parts is Rick Steiner goes to fist bump DDP, and DDP, as white as he can be, does like the high five hand over, like basically palming his fist. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Hey, ain't no shame. You know what? I didn't realize that they cut the time for this match. One of the things that I loved about this match is, to me, it was the perfect length. Sammy got his hope spots in. Braun got to... They even played it well. It's like, oh, Braun comes charging out of the gate, and he posts his shoulder, and oh, Sammy's getting the advantage early, and then Sammy had a couple hope spots, and boom, like that, it was over.
Yep.
I think it was perfect.
Well, to be honest, it kind of reminded me of SummerSlam of the older days, where like they were quicker matches, and your Intercontinental Championship match was kind of quick. I mean, everybody loves, Bret Hart winning his first Intercontinental Championship against Perfect. That thing was like less than 10 minutes, in this much of the same. I was a big fan of it. And then LA Knight goes on and wins the U.S. title from Logan Paul. Logan definitely got popped in the face pretty hard.
Bro, yeah, it was pretty fucking
He was
grimy.
also, from what I heard, it was supposed to be a suplex that LA Knight was supposed to do, but ended up being like that really sick brain buster.
Yes.
I think Logan Paul, I guess, was a little knocked out from it.
It could be. Yeah, it definitely looked. And in commentary, Graves, I think, is the one that called it out, did a good job of covering it up and saying, yeah, it was almost like a brain buster. Can we talk about how LA Knight bricked on the first pipe shot to the window on the door of the car?
I saw it.
Even he goes,
and I was what made me laugh is that when it happened and then he finally broke one, I go, and he goes, all right, that's it. And he dropped it. I go, good, leave it at one, just one. I'm like, if you were planning on doing more, if you were supposed to do multiple windows, just stop there. Good job. Oh my God, I forgot about that until you just brought that up. Thank you.
The best part is
there was
Logan
a lot
Paul-
of little Easter eggs in this, not Easter eggs, but little moments in this show that were just awesome, and that's one of them. I forgot about that.
There was, Logan Paul posted a picture on Twitter of a lawsuit for the damage to the truck, which is fucking hilarious.
Now, did he lose the title because of his tweet?
It's easy to make a case either way. In my mind, now was the time to put the title on LA Knight. There was no reason not to do it. Logan's never on TV.
Yep.
Not that he's never on TV, but... and so it's real easy to say that due to Logan Paul's comments that they said, fuck you, you're out. Ultimately, I don't care. It was the right result. How they got there, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a solid match.
I will say it's really funny, though, and I'm not going to get into any of it, all right? But I will say my favorite part of this whole controversy and his tweet was his apology tweet. I was misinformed, or I read some wrong information, or however he wrote it, and I was like, because it's just that quick on how people just jump into society to read something. They're like, bam, this is my opinion too. Boom.
But then here's the thing.
They just see a headline.
Yeah, and then you get the flip side, because then everybody's an expert after the fact, and then everybody's got to chime in, and you got to weed through that, right? Because there are some people that have legitimate perspective.
Knowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, both, right? And then there's just people that want to take their side. And so, yeah, it was a whole shit show, and it's a behavior like that that's very detrimental, especially when you're in a position like that. So,
which I just got to say, I can maybe get into it later, bring it to the table, but I don't know if you really get into watching the Olympics much, but dear God, I have watched some really amazing athletic shit happen, like people breaking world records.
People knocking poles over with their dicks.
That, and then the guy who looks like he's playing duck hunt in his basement with one hand in his pocket.
Love it. My favorite.
That's like, dude, my favorite thing is the people who are getting more recognition. He got like a fucking silver, gets more recognition than the gold. The pommel horse guy who looks like Clark Kent, right? Takes his glasses off and does his job. Got a bronze. I don't even know who the fuck got gold, let alone silver. It's funny how the things that we focus on, but yeah, the one where his junk took him out of the game, that shit's really funny. And it's like, well, being hung is a blessing and a curse, apparently. Otis teased manscaping his dick, which I thought was kind of funny, but it was just his chest. Random. Very random that they even did this whole skit backstage.
Oh my God! I have to say this. It might be not Tiffany Stratton. Model girl is what Cornette calls her.
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. That's probably her best work, unfortunately. That ad.
Yes, I agree. And then she even had a promo backstage that was back to her norm.
Oh God!
As we already said, Queen Nia is now the champion. Let's talk about it, man. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk.
God damn.
The drama, the callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, I know you want to go ahead. Say what you have to say first, and then I'm going to get into it.
Drew came out, and he had those gauntlets on. And I'm like, man, those are cool. Those look really, really familiar.
There it
I can't
is.
quite place it. And then Punk comes out, and I look at his boots. I'm like, huh, those are Brett. Wait a minute.
Yeah. And then it made Rollins look that much more like Shawn Michaels. Just sparklier.
Sparklier and meshier.
And they even did a spot where Drew pushes Seth Rollins, and he goes to hit him with the chair, and he ducks, and he almost gets CM Punk, which is very close to the Brett spitting in Shawn's face and then him hitting Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Even him giving the pin where he had to look at Drew to do the pin. Multiple things. I was like, wow. I go, thank you so much. This is like when CM Punk did All Out with Darby Allin and
Bret
did that
Hart,
like
1, 2, 3 Kid.
And yup, and it went like it was like a 5-minute spot that they did, maybe like 3-4 minutes, something like that. This was awesome. I loved it. The nods to the past, I think, are really cool. It's one of the reasons I really, really like Punk is because he's a Brett fan too, and I've always been a Brett fan, so that's why I'm like, yeah, see, I get it.
Brett.
Brett. I didn't know if I was going to care about Seth Rollins too much or if he was going to piss me off. But when the goddamn bracelet ended up on his wrist, even I was like, oh, shit. Like, to the point where, like, I sat up a little more on the couch, like, no way. That's where we're going with this. And he's like, oh, I was just getting out of the way as the ref. And, man, the GTS, everything. The whole match, I loved. My favorite part was when Punk was on the way to the ring. Michael Cole said, he's like, yeah, well, whatever his thing was. And he goes, Corey Graves goes, have you not seen John Wick? Do you know what happens when you mess with another man's dog? I was like, that was the best line of the night. Thank you, Corey Graves.
Yeah, this is
because great reference.
Yeah, this was another match that the length of the match was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go too long. They didn't cut it short. They went exactly the amount of time it took to tell the story in the ring. It was flawless. Now, I know your concern was that Seth being ref was going to take away from the match. Do you think that was
fine with it?
Okay,
no, I was
exactly.
Nah. He didn't do what I thought like you wanted. The whole go to the corner and just go. It was he let a lot of shit go.
He did, though. He did milk the crowd. He milked the crowd. He waited. He called for the bell. That one point where they were on the floor and Seth's just laying in the corner laughing.
Yep. It was
and
it
Punk
was
didn't
everything
bleed.
I wanted. No, I don't. He didn't need to for this. It was everything I wanted this match to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, to only skip ahead just a touch about with Raw, Drew saying, Punk, I'm going to give you some credit. You still got it. Man, Punk looked really good in this match. And all I was worried about is I was like, please don't get injured.
Please don't die.
I'm not saying he's injury prone, but he is older.
He's older.
My biggest complaint is this hairstyle. I'm not sure I'm really on board. It really looks like you're just pushing this dad hair.
I mean,
or unless you're trying to grow it back out and you're going back to your old CM Punk days. I don't know, but it's really a weird full long hair, and I'm not really digging it.
You're just pissed because you can't get your hair to look like that.
Bro, you're just pissed because you are fucking bald and our listeners can't see you.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. You can see it on camera pretty bad.
The turn I didn't see happening was Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest.
Yeah.
That I did not have happening.
Me neither.
in any of my predictions. And Gunther is the champion, which I think was perfect because I was like, how do you keep Priest strong with this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
And they did. And they immediately made him face. And people were on his side right away. And you know what? He's the first fucking superstar to look back, or a wrestler, and look over at the Titantron and actually see what happened.
Yeah, imagine that.
I was like, oh, thank you, Triple H era.
Yeah,
you know what
no
I'm saying?
shit.
Like, that's a cool thing. I could do without the ear camera. 100% could do without the ear camera.
Well, in the Livria match, it was good.
Okay, fine. One of my favorite ones was I saw a picture. It was Punk going towards where Seth Rollins was, and it said Jack Perry's POV.
Yeah, right. You see, Seth took it out at some point. He's like, "Fuck this thing."
Well, I read into that he the battery pack fell off, so the camera's useless at that point. So
okay.
he just got rid of it.
Gotcha. I know this again. I could see how people would watch this match and be like, "This was kind of boring." It was a house match, like it should have been.
I liked it.
It was a power match. I loved it too. A Priest got Gunther to bleed from. He was bleeding from his chest,
but he got the message.
But he got the message, and fucking, I love that Gunther won with a sleeper.
Yes,
I
because he
fucking
didn't
love it.
pin, he didn't tap, he was just out.
He was out, and it was a sleeper. Then the turn, power bomb, and Gunther went right back to the sleeper. Fucking smart wrestling. Loved it.
Honestly, again, the whole show was really good. Then Jelly Roll gave a better choke slam than anybody who really does choke slams. Minus, I got to be honest with you, I think my new favorite is Damian Priest. As soon as I saw him do it to, like I've seen him do a lot of them, right? But when he did it to Drew at WrestleMania and got height on Drew McIntyre, I know it's a lot in the wrist of you holding someone, pulling you, pulling down or whatever, but nobody gets height the way Damian Priest does. The way he did it to JD McDonough on Raw, I was like, yo, you almost fucking killed him. Like, it was just, I love his choke slams. But Jelly Roll gave one to, I don't know, Theory, Austin, whatever.
I think it was Theory, yeah.
Okay. I said Theory or Austin, which is the same fucking guy. Waller is who I meant.
Yeah, that guy.
And then Roman Reigns shows up and helps Cody Rhodes retain against Solo Sikoa. The music's a bit different, I feel like. It seemed like it was a touch different.
Romans?
Yes.
I didn't catch that.
Could be wrong. Seemed like it was more upbeat. I could be wrong. And I gotta say this. Lil Jon was like, I felt like it was a little lackluster. And I said, I think the crowd wasn't ready at that exact moment for Roman to show up. I think it was Cody had to be down, Solo had to be up and almost ready to do something for it to happen, where people could have been anticipating it.
They were both
They did
down.
it when both guys were down, yeah. And I think that it was an organic pop because people were like, oh, shit, oh, my God, it is now. It's funny because I don't know if you read what Dave Meltzer said. Well, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, but Roman's definitely a little thinner than he usually is. I'm like, he looks good, you fucking dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
He's just got a nitpick.
Yes. Well, there's more I got to say about him. OTC. I assume it's just the original tribal chief or only tribal chief.
Yep.
It's really funny when there's some people that put it up. It says wrong answers only. What does OTC stand for? There's a couple of those threads and some funny shit out there.
Only teeth like chiclets?
Oh, dear God. So, anyway.
How much, can I ask you a question? How hard were you hoping that Arn Anderson was going to pull a Glock out of the back of his jeans and give it to Cody?
I want to tell you, son, if things get a little worried out there, just bop someone in the head. Don't worry, I'll go out to my car, get my other gun, shoot everybody's ass. No, man, Arn Anderson being in Gorilla was
awesome.
Sick.
That was awesome.
As soon as I saw it, even I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, because everybody knows that's your crossover from AEW. That it's been quiet Now, if he's there, and Cody's mentioned having a mentor or a manager there. Look, you want to keep him backstage, fine, but if you start walking back out there with that stupid fucking clipboard of wrestling moves, how about this headlock?
Pharaoh. We got to see Pharaoh, which was fucking awesome. His last appearance.
But it's also his last hurrah.
His last appearance, yeah. No, he said the dog's doing well. It's just, traveling's a bit much for him. And I have to say, for me, the biggest shocker of the night, Brandy wasn't on camera. I kept waiting for it. Apparently it wasn't open mic night.
I got my hand down my pants. I'm ready to go. So, Joe Tessitore is going to be joining the Raw announce team, I guess, starting September 2nd, which would be Labor Day.
Is that the guy from Impractical Jokers?
No, that's no. This is. I think he's done sports for baseball or basketball. I don't know. All I know is one of my video games has him goes, "Hey everybody, I'm Joe Tessitore." I think it's baseball. I think he does baseball games. It could be. Either way, he's joining the Raw announce team. I assume probably because come fall, Pat McAfee's probably going to be heavily involved doing football stuff.
College football, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I saw a report saying he wasn't going to miss much time due to that, but yeah. Boxing.
Either way.
Looks like he doesn't know boxing.
He did. Oh, that's what he did. Okay. Well, I knew one of my video games. Anyway.
There you go.
Did you see R-Truth got to meet Post Malone backstage?
National treasure.
And dude, he even tagged Post Malone. You know what I mean? It's like, did Post go, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know what I mean? Or is it pre-planned? Did he tell him? It's hysterical to me. Oh, Post Malone he's in the WWE game, so yeah.
The best part is I think Crispy was asking me about SummerSlam, and I was like, this guy, Jelly Roll's there, and he's like, who's Jelly Roll? And I go, think Post Malone, but fatter and sings country.
Yeah, but you know what else he does?
Commercials?
He stole my fucking bit.
Really?
I saw a video of him doing 5 or 6 different rap songs within a couple of minutes, and I go, motherfucker, I should have trademarked my shit.
Yeah, you stole that from Sticky Fingers.
Your mama's got sticky fingers. Anyway, Mustafa Ali is done with TNA. What's next? Do you think he goes back to maybe NXT?
NXT would be the better choice. Main roster's too loaded.
Love him there. No, it's too loaded, but I'm saying I think putting him in NXT could be pretty big because perfect heel, especially if he keeps with the gimmick he's got going right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if he's done with TNA, I can't think he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go sign with AEW. But he put out a whole press release and everything.
Maybe New Japan for a little bit.
Ooh. I could be okay with that.
Yeah, just a short run,
Well, wow, man, you're the king of transitions.
Hey.
So speaking of, you got the New Japan. I figured it out. I was trying to move on.
That's a good trick.
The G1 Climax is still going on, and after night 11, here's your updated standings, which I thought you might find a little interesting. Block A, Evil, is sitting at 10 points, 5-1, while Zack Sabre Jr. has 8 points at 4-2. Then there's a bunch of guys who are basically in third place who are 3-3. So I think it may come down to Sabre Jr. and Evil for that block. Still probably about 7 more full nights of the G1. Back and forth with matches before it's all over. Block B, the guy who came out of nowhere, 2 guys who came out of nowhere. Last week, who did I say was leading Block B? Do you remember? AEW guy, I'll at least give you that.
Oh, no. Oh, Takeshita.
Yes. Well, he is now in second place, tied with... Or, I'm sorry, he's now... Yeah, I'm sorry. He is in second place, tied with 4 other guys First place is tied with David Finlay and Jeff Cobb, both at 8 points apiece. What did I say about maybe 8 months ago? David Finlay will be your champion or over in WWE within the next couple of years. He is going to be, I think he could maybe win this thing, and I'm okay with that. That's your Bullet Club leader. All for it. So that's what's going on with the G1 as of late. Not too shabby. But we also have Tony's Quick Sniffs of the Week. As always, thank you, ODM, for being willing to do coke every time I say that.
Nothing exceeds like excess.
All right, here we go. Quick Sniffs of the Week. He met with Shane McMahon last week. Interesting. No idea what's going to come of it.
Did you hear Cornette's point of view on that?
I didn't.
He's like, oh, you mean to tell me that Shane McMahon was traveling and he went through a Dallas airport and Monet was like, hey, you want to meet Tony Khan?
Supposedly she's the one that took the picture, too.
Which would make sense.
Is this a work or not? Britt Baker is suspended because of some backstage bullshit with MJF and his girlfriend who was backstage. Now, why I say is it a work or not is because it could semi-work into him and Adam Cole and their storyline. But, I mean, I also heard that Adam Cole just moved to PA so he could be her secretary at the dental office.
And I'm actually going down to Pittsburgh next week to see if I can get in for an appointment.
Get an appointment. I got like 8 crappy molars. Come on.
No.
But is she really suspended?
I mean, this could really go either way. Well, actually, no. I think more than likely she was probably just talking trash. Or they're trying to work this into some CM Punkish kind of angle.
If it's not, and they really did do this to her, man, don't ever forget, what was the first words out of CM Punk's mouth after being gone from wrestling for 7 or 8 years? Man, you guys sure know how to make a guy feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh. First words out of his mouth in a wrestling ring was giving a nod to Britt Baker. I'm just saying, fuck, dude, she could be way better off in the division over in NXT, WWE, whatever the fuck you want to do with her. If they're going to suspend her over bullshit because she mouthed off to a girlfriend backstage and that's the kind of ship you're running, everybody should run. Anybody who can should just run. Hope her contract is up soon. But speaking of contracts being up with TK, it was supposed to be the Lucha Brothers and Pac taking on the Patriarchy for the 6-man trios, whatever the fucked up, whatever tag team name they call it.
Trios.
And the Lucha Brothers are, from everything I've been reading, 100% WWE bound.
Okay, so I think those reports are just kind of customary or formal, right? Because that's the assumption everybody would have.
Sure.
Their contracts are definitely coming up, and that's pretty much why they were pulled from the event. Now, whether or not they show up in WWE, different story. Me personally, I feel like the tag team division's kind of lacking right now. You know, got a lot of real key players and like legit title contenders, in my opinion.
You're talking about in WWE?
In WWE, yeah.
Correct. Now, here's the thing. I'm just saying, if they were going to go to Mexico, CMLL, anything they want to do, AAA,
right?
Tony wouldn't pull them from All In. Their contracts aren't up until September.
Or he could,
if
just
you are
he's that
WWE bound. No, but I'm saying if you're WWE bound, you're
off.
Pulling them from Wembley.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it could
be. That's why I think they really are.
He could just be doing that because he doesn't know and he hears reports and just believes them. So
I actually hope they do go there so that someone can go, yo, what's his name? Penta. Do me a favor, man. One Sierra Romero, a match, that's it. You don't have to do 50 of them, man. That's it. Just one. Right. One is sufficient.
Yeah.
I just want someone to tell him on a programming side that we don't need that. Another fun thing, you know, with TK and his crew, MJF with his American title at a CMLL show said, the world's talking about me and this title being over here. Ricky Starks chimes in on that post and says, nah, they're actually talking about you and Britt, to be honest. I love you, Ricky.
Yeah.
I really hope you end up in WWE at some point.
Yeah, please go to NXT soon. Please.
And besides that, man, All In only has 5 matches booked so far. And, I mean, if you're trying to sell tickets, I think you should bulk it up a bit. The matches that they have so far, I mean, okay, this past week we found out Danielson and Swerve is for it's title versus career. That's great. But the other matches you have so far are Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Okay. Darby Allin and Jungle Goat. Mercedes Botchfest and Britt Baker. And then MJF and Will Ospreay. Not much, and then you may have that trios match that's going to happen. Not a whole lot going on. And, I mean, Tony likes to have a good 17, 18 card match. He's really waiting until the last minute. Was Jacob Fatu injured at SummerSlam? I don't know. Hopefully he's all right. He's in a walking cast from everything I've seen, or a walking boot. But him and Tama Tonga won the tag team titles on SmackDown against DIY. Man, 35 years later, and the newest version of the Islanders actually win the tag titles.
Yeah,
something
cool.
Haku and Tonga Kid never got to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, it was very cool.
Love the Islanders.
I was excited about that. I had to read about it. I went away for the weekend, and I saw that, and I was like, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
They actually good stuff. And I said, that could be big things for Solo maybe on Saturday. It could have made it or break things.
Mm-hmm.
But on Raw, Gunther and Orton 2 is finally going to happen at Bash at Berlin. And it worked out because obviously with the whole King of the Ring, and he goes, the reason you're the champion. I like this version of Orton. He's a different, chiller version. I laughed because he's like, I am the legend, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you forget, my brother. And when he said my brother, I'm like, it's just a chiller version. He's like, my brother, I made a career out of killing legends. And It was just, I liked the whole exchange. And I also liked when you drop the mic and the viewers at home get a little bit extra with that camera footage that the rest of the people are like, what'd they say to each other?
You're not going to catch me out of nowhere. Good. I want you to see it coming.
Really good stuff.
Beautiful.
I'm actually
Beautiful.
excited. I'm already excited about that match.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great.
I wasn't expecting him to show up.
Good first defense. You get a vet in there, somebody with name notoriety.
Thank you.
It's not going to hurt him to lose. It fucking works perfectly.
Look, I gotta say, people are like, there's a new Judgment Day. It's not really a new Judgment Day. This is basically kicked out Damien. But
and Rio, yeah, pretty much.
I loved the promo exchange between Finn and Damien, and him, showing the picture of how he cost him the title.
It's last year's SummerSlam
2023.
Yeah.
Yep. But then when he pans out, the whole crew is there with Liv. Oh, it was just.
And
I loved it. And
Carlito was great. Carlito was great.
Oh,
He's got the apple. Did you see the meme after SummerSlam? It was Will Smith in the empty house. Carlito going to the Judgment Day locker room.
I always love when people use that. I think I saw one for Josh Allen. Like, oh man, where'd all my teammates go this year? I loved it. And you're in something you wrote here. McDonough looks less like a flunky right now. And you're right.
Bro,
he's
that vignette,
major part. Yes.
Yeah, it was fucking great. He's like, yeah, you kept fucking with me. You kept pushing me around, asshole. Well, guess what? Guess who believed in me? And they show all the old clips of Damien fucking with McDonough and Balor being like, I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. Fucking great.
It's awesome.
Fucking great.
And they also did before their match at the end of the night, they also did a vignette for,
Priest.
John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. He's kind of in the corner.
It's Joe Gacy, but I just...
Yeah, I know. I gotcha. They did that on purpose.
Yeah. And it's funny you said Priest only needed to lose the title to look like a real threat. The moment that happened on Saturday night, he already went face, but his promo as a face was solid to the point, but I'm going to beat your ass, Finn. And I liked how Finn was like, you're not going to get me. I'm going to get you when you're not ready. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, I go, how long can that be? And I go, he's just probably going to jump him tonight. And he did. It was, but either way, I loved it. And that's what happened. He ends up jumping him during the JD McDonough match. Liv is in there with the beatdown. And then this is what we... Oh, my God. The pop for Rhea when she came out. It's cool seeing them team together. We're probably... You know what I bet? Man, now the more I think about it.
Mixed tag match?
Heading into Bash in Berlin, yeah, mixed tag would be perfect to see.
Perfect for that kind of pay-per-view.
Yes.
You know?
And then he can end up having Finn maybe at Bad Blood. Because that's, you have the pay-per-view that's going to be happening right after that in October. So I'm very excited about how things are shaping up. The Judgment Day saga continues. It's a different version. It's kind of like what they did with Bloodline, just shaking it up a bit. But Liv being in there changes it all completely.
Perfect. It's so good.
I
Breath
love
of fresh air.
Seth Rollins indeed looked like Hangman Page walking to the ring with his jacket. That had to be intentional. There's no goddamn way that was not intentional, which is perfect. I loved the promo where Drew was like, I've earned at least your respect where you could look at me. And the two guys, Seth and Punk, just kept looking at each other. He's like, you guys keep looking lovingly into each other's eyes, but you should be looking over here. I'm like, Drew is the master. Dude, did you happen to see the video? Look it up. He fucking signs someone's merch. Fuck CM Punk, cunt.
That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
My favorite part
Dude's
is
a savage.
Punk does his in-ring promo. Fantastic as always.
Yep.
And Seth Rollins' music hits, and he's finishing his sentence, and then he goes, God damn it!
Yeah, I know. It was, I loved the whole segment. I think next we're going to get a match between Punk and Drew, maybe a cage-ish, maybe something that,
rumor is it's going to be Hell in a Cell.
Oh, God.
I
All
know.
Right. Well,
I know.
Yeah. Well, the Hell in a Cell is way more watered down nowadays than it ever used to be.
Sure.
But I'd like to see eventually something of a triple threat, but do you think we just wait all the way to their official one-on-one match, Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania, you think?
Oh, man, I could do that.
Well, or even Survivor
I don't know.
Series.
And
I don't know
what? You know what? With the way the dynamics of this, three-way quarrel, I don't want to guess. I want to just sit back and be surprised.
Fair enough. I like that. I mean, our job on here is to kind of predict and guess.
Yeah, fantasy book, yeah.
But what was great is after Punk, when Drew, and your stupid dog Larry, bam, jumps over the fucking fence. That's it, gone. And Bronson Reed destroyed Seth Rollins with like 74 tornado splashes or whatever he calls them, or typhoon splashes.
Typhoons.
Amazing. And the only thing is that you have to let him go over in this feud then. If Rollins is going to be distracted from Punk and McIntyre are going to continue your thing, and you have to have Rollins lose this one. Please do not let him John Cena over everybody else like he does.
No, 100%. Two things about this. One, Seth did not do a good job of hiding him sliding the blood capsule into his mouth.
The stains that were in the ring did not match anywhere near his mouth. His mouth was white. But all of a sudden there's blood spots. And I actually literally go, wait, did Sheamus bleed in the match before this? I actually started thinking, I'm like, where'd that blood just come from?
Well, no, the other thing, too, is one point he puts his hand over his mouth for like 3 seconds.
Yep, I saw that, too.
Okay. And then he actually spits something up. But the best part about how they book this is before this, earlier in the evening, Bronson Reed goes into Adam Pearce's office and he's like, what the fuck, man? Why does Sheamus have a match and not me? I'm supposed to have a fucking match. He's like, well, fuck it then. I guess I'm just going to have to make my own path. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, bro, you're a mid-carder. They're not going to do anything with you. And then this happened.
Yeah.
And he just kept going.
Do you remember that he was a number one contender to face Seth Rollins at Elimination Chamber, but Seth pulled out so that he could make it to WrestleMania?
Oh.
That was the perfect guy to jump.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. No, it's great.
But the Seth Rollins thing, it's like Charlie on Sunny. I've been poisoned by my constituents. Or my constituents, whatever.
Yeah, his constituents, yeah.
Yeah,
I just got a touch of consumption.
It was so bad, that capsule. Because like I said, I look down and I go,
I do the same
he's
thing.
not bleeding anywhere. He looks fine.
He's bleeding from his chest.
Man, we're going to have that almost as maybe a hat trick. Odyssey Jones came out and looks like he's joining the New Day, but Xavier did not look happy even in the moment of it. He was like who is this motherfucker right here?
You?
And then backstage, I didn't know you guys were friends. Whoa, easy, bitch. Like getting a little needy there, Xavier. But he still was able to dance with Tozawa. That was
which was correct, which was fantastic. That
I called this turn so long ago.
Oh, you sure did. You sure did. Odyssey Jones hitting a double side slam on AOP was fucking dope.
Ridiculous.
Dope.
I don't know. Someone wrote, "Wow, this is bigger E."
Jackie was watching him and she goes, "Who did she say it reminded her of?" I forget who she said. It was a wrestler, and I go, funny. Reminds me of Mark Henry.
Looked like what's that dude? It's like a cross between Omos and
Obafemi.
Yeah, Obafemi. That was the other name I was going to say. No shit.
Yeah.
Next week, Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn are going to go at it in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Here's how they get the 3 falls. Breaker is going to win the first fall and throw the second fall by doing something stupid to get disqualified, but using a chair or something.
Yeah.
Sammy does not get a pin on Breaker, I can promise you.
Makes sense.
He does. It makes him look weak as an Intercontinental Champion, so he has to stay strong. I think he's going to get himself disqualified, either in the first fall or the second fall. One or the other, he's getting disqualified.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
And the Wyatt Six made their in-ring debut against American Made. Funniest thing I saw was a meme that said, "Man, what a great match between Slipknot and Penn State." Accurate.
Because they were American made.
They were, took me a second with what you were doing.
You know I can't sing for shit.
It was interesting to watch because they did a lot of different wrestling moves, a lot of different things that you weren't expecting, just different things all around that made them unique. It wasn't just them wrestling. Like the beginning with Dexter Lumis just sliding on his knees and chasing Chad Gable out of the ring. Enough already for me was where I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Mm-hmm. And him and Gacy on the outside taking care of AOP over the announce table, just how everything was done, well done. And you have Bray Wyatt's chair, Bo Dallas sitting in it, Nikki there with her fucking scary mask. I loved it. Great way to go off Raw.
They, and one thing to shout out to Rowan was he was on the apron with somebody, before he did like the leapfrog and like the leg drop, but he did the fucking Luke Harper thing. He did the kind of, what I mean? The taunt. Yeah. I mean, so.
I did like Loomis's splash. His legs were like going in the air like crazy, and then Rowan gives that final push down on top of the pin.
And Gacy did kind of like the Bray Wyatt thing, kind of like a different take on it, where he got thrown into the corner and he did like the flare, like flip up, but he just stayed there like upside down in the corner,
it was so
laughing
good.
at him. Yeah, it was tight. It looked good.
I was very impressed with how they did it all, and it's funny because the music was different. It wasn't just the piano.
Yes, it was weird. Yeah, it was.
No,
weird.
But that's what it's like when you're playing the game. That's what the sound is. So I'm actually cool with that being a little more upbeat.
Yeah.
I got to say it, man. I'm going to have to outweigh you this week. I got 2 bring it to the tables. Let's go.
God damn it.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Oh, yeah. WrestleMania, the album. Came out in 1993. Had some really funny fucking tracks, but that's where you had the one WrestleMania song that went on for like WrestleMania 10, 11, where it was like the bam, boom, boom. It was like that kind of like upbeat version. And there was a lot of other songs on this album, but I watched a video the other day. Do you know It was produced by Simon Cowell.
Yes.
Did you see the same video?
Yes. Yeah. And I did know that.
And he was like, they just sold out Wembley in '92, and I'm like, that if that's the kind of fan base they have, they can make an album. And he goes, everybody was against me. Everybody said, he goes, all my bosses were like, this is a bad idea. And he goes, kids will buy this. They will eat it up. Yours included definitely had that fucking cassette tape. But I know a lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he wasn't wrong. That's a smart businessman. Hey, would you guys like to have music playing behind you and all you have to do is just say some random ass catchphrases? Yeah, that sounds great.
I mean, there was precedent for it.
Right. Look at he's got it on. Look at that. Aw, he's got WrestleMania the album.
The wrestling album.
The wrestling album. This one was WrestleMania the album, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it had like Taker, Big Boss Man, Savage. Like I said, I remember that intro. It was my favorite. It was the funniest fucking thing, and I'll never forget that intro. But that's one of the things I'm bringing to the table. Second thing I'm bringing to the table. So a good friend of ours is actually had to go through some shit, and so we were all hanging out this past weekend, and it was a booze-free weekend. It was just going to be a dry weekend, just to kind of help him get through shit. And we're like, well, you guys been watching the Olympics? Yeah, we've been watching it too. Yada, yada, yada. And it turned into the Olympics. So this is why I wasn't watching SummerSlam. But the Olympics we did. You got cornhole, you got darts, you got bocce. A lot of random fun games that we did where everybody got ranked. And you got either, gold medal or gold, silver, or bronze. And, there's 4 of us. I ended up placing bronze overall. But it was kind of fun, man, just kind of doing that and playing our own little games. But one of the funnest fucking ones, man, was where I was like, this is going to be easy as shit. Where you take a balloon, and there was a lot of sprinklers in the yard, and my buddy knew how to turn on the water system that usually has a timer for it to go off, so that every bit of the fucking water in this yard of this Airbnb would turn on. And I also brought my wacky ass sprinkler, and the goal is to walk with a balloon through this course. Just, in and out of spots, just walking from one spot to the other. If you drop it, you lose 3 points. Or no, if you drop it, you add 3 seconds to your time, because it was all time trials. If it busts, you get 3 seconds. I had like 45 fucking extra seconds added on. It is ridiculous how hard it is to walk with a balloon between your legs while water is hitting it. It's getting wet. It's either popping or it's sliding down. Now you're walking weird. It's a fun game, man. But that's what I did this past weekend. Had our own little Olympics. Having some fun, man. So what do you bring to the table?
Is that where you played tetherball with Nova?
That is where I played tetherball. Dude, she was a fucking natural.
She was way better than you were.
I know. And, my wrist, I woke up the next day and go, why is my wrist hurting so bad? That was it.
Well,
but, dude, I was hitting it, and she was going to the opposite side, back. I was like, she actually knows how to play this fucking game. It's really funny you brought that up. I forgot all about that. She posted that.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was a good time.
All right.
It wasn't a part of the Olympics, the tetherball thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't need to feel any worse about yourself.
But it was also 100 degrees. We were going in and, trying to, recuperate every now and then, have something to eat, drink, or something like that, go back outside. One of the games was keeping 3 balloons in the air. Time trial for that. The highest one anybody got was 15 seconds because it was harder than it actually seemed like it was going to be. And the rule was if it bounced off of a couch, you can keep it in play. You got to get to it right away. Well, I did, and I hit it the wrong way, and I went to go dive to hit it. My ribs hit the fucking back end of the couch, that wood fucking part of the couch.
Oof.
And I just went down, let all the balloons drop. I was like, I'm done. I quit. I'm getting too old for this shit.
It's like you were a boxer from Italy facing... Oh, never mind. All right, so...
Oh, Jesus.
Well, the quitting thing, that's what I was getting at. Okay.
I got it.
All right, that's like Galata facing Tyson. Is that a more astute reference? All right.
Well, no. Galata just kept punching him in the dick.
No, it wasn't Galata then. Who the fuck was it? Who's the big dude that quit?
Oh, no,
like, at the
Galata.
second
No,
round?
wait. Galata and Bo was the punching of the day.
Yeah, that was the Dick Tyson Galata was the one where Galata quit. Like, that's the second round.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're on a fucking sidetrack here. We're getting lost here. Well, I hate to say it, but I have to semi-agree with Meltzer. I'm going to say semi-agree. Meltzer.
Did you have a semi for Meltzer?
No, I certainly do not. No, I know we're definitely at 10% tie stick to it. If you're getting even close. So Meltzer's quote about SummerSlam. Quote, SummerSlam was an angle show. If you're watching the show to see great wrestling, it wasn't that. You pretty much could call everything that happened, and they did it well. In that sense, I thought it was an easy show to watch for a 4-hour show. I enjoyed it. I am going to read the parts that I agree with. SummerSlam was an angle show. You could pretty much call everything that happened, and they did it well. I enjoyed it. Those are the parts that I agree with. It was an angle show. It was a show to wrap up storylines or progress storylines, and they didn't just do it well. They fucking did it superbly because stories are either stopping and starting fresh or have taken a turn and are progressing to the next level. Here are the
why
things
did you
that,
have to say it?
No, of
Not
course,
you.
no.
Him.
Here, no. But I'm gonna. So I read you the parts that I agreed with. I'm gonna read you the parts that
Okay.
show he's an AEW mark that can't give WWE any real credit. If you watch the show to see great wrestling, it wasn't that. I thought it was an easy show to watch for a 4-hour show. Bitch, you're gonna say that when you talk about fucking AEW shows that you need fucking 8 espressos to stay up for?
But saying, well, I'll say maybe that was a positive. It was an easy show to watch. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
It was an easy show because it was enjoyable.
And because there was only so many matches. There wasn't 15 of them.
Right.
Like you're saying with the espresso. But also saying if you were looking for great wrestling, this wasn't it. I don't know, man. Punk and Drew put on a wrestling match to me that had brutality. It had drama. It had everything. That was a great fucking SummerSlam match.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Fuck Dave Meltzer. He didn't even need to say all of this to be like, well, it was an angle show. If you're looking for wrestling, this isn't it. What this is him saying, I really, really love the taste of Tony Khan's spunk in my mouth. Let's go to the wars.
Please.
Monday Night Wars!
On WCW Monday Nitro. Brain.
I'm just watching Steiner's down there on the floor.
Do you hear what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's the old.
Yes, it is. What are we? What? My God!
He is back!
Hogan! It's back!
Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen him in that yellow.
Look at him.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
Dad, quick, wear these tights, and then I'm going to go drive a car and kill somebody. That's what happened in this week's Wars. Too soon?
Is that before or after he posed with the white supremacist?
As you heard from the sounds, Man, not only did we get the debut that we've all remembered from 1999, probably the biggest debut, I would say, across the board for either company, but I marked out. Not gonna lie, I forgot that this is the night that you get. Actually, it didn't even have the full-blown thing. It didn't have the beginning part. It just began the song.
Right.
Which blended into Goldberg's
kind of a
shitty
return.
fucking theme. Yes.
Kind of a return.
I just wish I heard the... But yeah, that would have been great. But it is the Wars. We got Raw. We got Nitro. And I got to be honest, Raw was not just built on this debut. I forgot about multiple things. I remember watching this one live in my parents' brand new renovated living room. And this was a huge night because you had stars of the past. You got you have a big turn, actually, or a new formation. You got a debut. Nitro, it's a Nitro. They give you what they do. No, but overall, not too bad for both shows. It was exciting to see this week, so kick it off, ODM.
The renovated living room, was that with the new couches?
That was. And you know why? Because in October of '99 is Heroes of Wrestling. Oh, that's exciting! I can't. Good for you. You didn't even see the fucking room, but you
exactly.
feel like you were
but
there.
I know.
Huh?
I was there.
They were pristine green leather couches,
and your father made sure of that.
Oh, talk about callbacks. It's never
That's
I love it.
That's a long one. That's an old callback.
You know what? I will buy this pay-per-view for you.
Hey, man, you got to sit on the floor. I'd give you a lawn chair, but I don't think that's going to work out any better.
Wait, did I tell you about what happened on my porch, too?
I don't think so.
No.
You told me about
For
the
real?
pizza.
All right, sidetracking here. When my wife and I had our house up in Webster,
Pepster.
we had a cookout. We had a cookout one day, and Dan, my guitarist, was there, and that boy was there with his wife. We're all just hanging out, and I'm cooking on the grill, and all of a sudden I hear bang. You know those chairs that come with like every outdoor set you've ever seen, the metal glass table with the 4 chairs? He managed to bend it all the way in half and broke. And I will never forget, Dan looks at me, he goes, "This is made of steel." And I fucking laughed so hard.
Remember Stewie plumps up and she puts him on that the horse on the spring, and it just slowly bends over the side and goes, "Well then, giddy up."
Dude, anyway, so it's funny you brought that up. I was like, wait, did I tell you this story too? No, that was another good one. But anyway, Jesus Christ. I think there's wrestling in here somewhere.
Somewhere.
The Wars. Hey, one of my favorite Raws in history. Go.
All right, August 9th, 1999, Raw's in Chicago, and they open up with the countdown to the Millennium Clock. We're at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Oh, shit. Rock comes to the ring for a promo.
A lot closer than I thought it was.
Right. Well, it's fucked up because Rock comes to the ring for the promo, and I was like, wait a minute. They said 1 hour 25.
Yo, I said the same thing. I go, oh, he did 2 promos in one night.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's funny because after the countdown for the Millennium, when they start showing the signs, in the crowd, you can see a couple Jericho signs. They fucked up, and they got better after that. They made sure not to catch any after that. So Rock comes to the ring. Taker and Show are watching from the back. Show's ready to go out there, and Taker stops him and says, let's see what he has to say. Let him entertain us. Big Show attacked Rock on heat. And this is the first time that we get, well, it's the big slow. Which is great to hear. Show and Taker end up coming to the ring. 2-on-1's too much, but X-Pac makes the save, gets a few shots in before him getting beat down. Road Dogg makes the save, rinse and repeat, and then Kane comes to the ring and takes them both out. See a limo arriving, commentary. It's like, oh, it's got to be Jesse the Body. But no, it's fucking HBK. The commish is in the house. Let's see. Kane and X-Pac are in the back with Cole. X-Pac wants the tag titles from the Acolytes. They want a shot tonight. Next, you get Christian versus Gangrel. The Hardy Boys come to the ring. Christian's able to take him out. Christian jumps off the top, and Gangrel sprays him with the blood mist and gets the pin. Hardy's beat down Christian. Edge makes the save. And then Michael Hayes comes out to stop the Hardys, and the Hardys beat him down. So here's your flip-flop right here.
It's the New Brood.
The New Brood.
And this will eventually lead to, and I believe it's in October. We're starting to plant the seeds right here in August, but it's October, I believe, I think it's No Mercy is the pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure it's No Mercy. And it's the ladder match for the Terry Invitational Tournament.
Yeah.
And it's what kicks off the original ladder match between the Hardys, Edge, and Christian. So as soon as I saw this happen, I was like, oh, we're going there.
We're going there. Dude, October's a packed month. You've got the shit show of WCW falling apart with Bischoff getting fired at Halloween Havoc. You've got that thing with the Hardys. You fucking, what the fuck else? Oh, you've got Heroes of Wrestling. You got your dad's couch. You get draws, not walking anymore. It's fucking, October's a crazy month.
My dad probably would have preferred draws. Like, half of the body isn't even really there.
Do dead legs still make imprints in the couch?
Probably more. You know what I mean? Like, it's not shifting every now and then.
You can't ease off of them, right? Jesse Ventura's backstage. He's headed to ringside. We come back from break. He's in the ring with Lawler and basically spends the first 5 minutes putting himself over. He references a lot of wannabes out there, and now you see a lot of wannabe Navy SEALs on TV. On bad made-for-TV movies with clown haircuts. Wonder who he's talking about.
I like this reference.
Well, a little sidetrack if you don't know. Hogan's pretty much snitched out Ventura for wanting to start a union back in the day. So there's a little bit of heat there. And now that Vince is gone, he's back. He emphasizes the word wrestler. He doesn't say anything about sports entertainers, but he goes, wrestlers. And he says, and if you question my power, notice you don't see that scumbag Vince McMahon anywhere. That's a shoot, brother.
Yeah, but we all know that it's still brought in. He's the guy that brought you in.
It got the blessing, but, you know.
Sure.
Triple H's music hits. He comes to the ring. Ventura tells Triple H he better work on his wrestling moves, which is fucking great because that's why he ain't in the match. And he says because the best wrestler is going to win that title. Triple H says, you must be stuck in the 70s. This is my ring. And Ventura says, well, this is my country, which is bigger than your ring. So HBK's music hits. He comes out and he goes, you said, this is your world? Well, all these fans know who brought you into this world. Triple H shoves Shawn Michaels. Ventura keeps Shawn Michaels at bay, whispers to him. And he says, you know what? Tonight, Triple H, you're going to be in a triple threat match against Undertaker and Austin. We get a pre-record of D'Lo and Mark Henry running like an obstacle course somewhere. Or just running in a field where he put some cones up. So Mark Henry has to go in the woods to take a piss. And D'Lo gets jumped by Jeff Jarrett, and they get in a car and drive off. There you go. Next, you get Jeff Jarrett with Deborah versus Val Venus. JR announces something's happened in the stairwell. They don't get back to it just yet. Deborah tries to distract Val Venus, but it backfires again. Val Venus gets the pin, and Jarrett's running down Deborah. Val Venus comes in to defend her, and Deborah looks very happy that that's happening and walks back to the back with Val Venus instead of Jeff Jarrett. Cut to the back, we see what JR was referencing. We see Austin at the bottom of a set of stairs being tended to by HBK and security. We come back from break. Cole's in front of an ambulance. Austin's being loaded in. He's unconscious. It appears he may have been shoved down the stairs, but there was a cinder block near his head. He's busted open. And Triple H shows up and he plays dumb. What happened here?
Oh my God, my opponent. Oh no.
Oh no. HBK comes to the ring, calls Triple H out. Triple H still playing dumb. Shawn Michaels says, you're still wrestling tonight. It's going to be falls count anywhere, no DQ, no count out. And it's going to be for the #1 contendership. And guess what? I'm going to be the ref. Triple H says, well, Austin's out, so it can't be a triple threat. And Shawn says, I'm going to find you a different opponent. And he teases it and says, it's going to be Chyna. Triple H starts laughing. Chyna doesn't appreciate it too much. And Triple H says, she's just a girl. She can't be in this match. And Chyna takes the mic and she says, I'll take that opportunity. Just a woman? Try me, Hunter.
It's funny. He called her a girl. She's like, I'm just a woman. I'm like, actually he called you a girl, to be honest with you, just so you know. Like, that actually, that part, actually, as soon as she said that, I was like, kind of went less.
Yeah, you done fucked up, AA Ron. Next, you see Chyna running Triple H down.
You done fucked up, HHH.
There you go. I like it. Hey, how fucked up is it that SummerSlam kicked off with Triple H coming out, getting the crowd to pop, kind of doing a shout out to DX, when 25 years ago he was being taken out of the main event at SummerSlam?
It's true.
Kind of fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah. And his wife was at ringside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Making sure to sport that ring again this time.
Yeah, she said, you know what? 25 years from now, I'm going to be sucking his dick, and he's going to be running this company.
Ew. But first, I got to do this test versus my brother match. Which one wants to fuck me more?
Then he's going to drug me and drive me through a chapel and get married to me that way. We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yo, what I said went way over your head. Never mind.
All right. Yeah. That's fine. Kane and X-Pac versus the Acolytes for the tag titles. They did kind of like a hybrid theme of Kane's music and the DX theme, which was kind of cool. Pretty quick match. X-Pac gets the win with the X Factor. Road Dogg comes out to celebrate. X-Pac cuts a promo post-match. He says, if you ain't down with me and the Big Red Machine being tag champs, Kane has 2 words for you. And Kane takes out the voice box. X-Pac takes it away and says, hey, you don't need this anymore. Suck it. I've been waiting for this.
Really fucking good.
Yeah,
that was good.
All right,
I remember that. I remember it live. This was one of those.
I didn't know this happened on the same night as the Jericho thing.
See, I did because I had someone, man. I want to say maybe the guy I reference often, Spada. He had internet in 1999. I don't know what the fuck that was at that time in my house. You know what I mean? Like, my parents didn't have it.
Right.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, I just use pictures of Lori Loughlin from Full House. So don't lie. It was John Stamos, and you know it. I have so many ways I could go with this joke, and I'm going to choose to go the high road. But that day, it was like, yo, Jericho showing up on Raw, and I'm like, how the fuck you know this? You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't realize that there was such a thing as dirt sheets back then, you know, and he figured it out and like how to find it. And so I was like, I got to watch this one. And so I was like, I got to record it in case it's worth it. Because that's what you did in VHS days. It's not like you could go on the internet and rewatch it in 15 minutes after it was uploaded. And I remember X-Pac and Kane winning the tag titles on this night. And I remember him getting rid of the voice box completely from the all of a sudden to suck it. And then pretty soon he's going to have half his face showing, and then they're going to take his mask off by 2003.
And the wig. Big Show and Taker come in and beat everybody down. Just when you thought GTV was dead, it's back. It's Mr. Ass getting a massage.
Jesus.
Yep.
Worst one ever.
Yep. And there's Oriental herbs. She's got Oriental herbs for that ass. And it cuts out. And Lawler goes, he was getting an herbal butt rub? Yeah, pretty much. Next, you get Blackman and Joey Abs with Shane versus Test and Shamrock. Shane joins commentary. Test hits a powerbomb to Joey Abs. Shamrock's beating Blackman with a kendo stick, but Shane gets a chair, and Shamrock swings the kendo stick right at the chair, knocking it into Shane's face. Test gets the pin as Shamrock and Blackman fight off into the crowd, and Test Pillmanizes Joey Abs' ankle. And then after that, we see Mr. Ass running to makeup. He has a rash on his ass. It was poison ivy all along.
Poison ivy, yeah. Yo, why is Steve Blackman helping Shane?
He was Vince's new Shamrock, basically. They never really went anywhere with that. Because remember the one pay-per-view, he says, I don't care if you just left, get your ass back here.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's terrible. Coles with Test backstage calls Mean Street Posse little butt sniffers. Said he broke Pete Gass's ribs, then Rodney's arm. Nobody left but Shane. Sleep tight, big brother.
I feel like if anybody can really claim butt sniffer, it's David Arquette in Airheads.
Airheads.
Where are you going, you little
Butt
sniffer?
sniffer.
Hey, before I forget, he was a part of my WCW version this week of Nitro with a 10-10-220. Remember that commercial?
No, thank God.
And he was in a wrestling ring. So, heads up. He's coming soon. But let's keep talking about Raw. Let's talk about the happy times.
Blackman's with Terry Taylor. Basically says he wants a cage match with Shamrock where they'll just have weapons scattered around the ring and you can use them. The best part, or the worst part about this promo, is that the entire time Blackman's cutting the promo, he's not looking at the camera. He's looking at Terry Taylor. It's like he forgot the camera was there or he was too scared to look at it. I don't know, man, but it was kind of fucked up.
I mean, he just has good, eye-to-eye contact, like the guy's talking to him, you got to look him in the eye.
Sure. So next, The Rock goes to the ring to cut a promo, and some segments you just watch. It's the Jericho debut. Do you have anything to add to this? Because if you don't know, just go fucking watch the video because it's epic. Again, like you, I watched this live because I remember because The Rock had already done it at this point. Maybe I hadn't seen it as much, but how dare you come to The Rock's ring and not even have the courtesy to introduce yourself? What is your name? I told you it doesn't matter. I just remember howling when that shit happened. So
the crowd popped.
Oh, big time.
I mean, as soon as Jericho's name came across the Titantron,
it's like somebody turned up the volume really fast.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. And I got to be honest, it is more of probably one of the more monumental debuts. We did a crossover debut episode at one point, and I'm kind of curious where we ranked Jericho, but I'm sure he was probably in the top 5 if I had to put money on it. But man, it was just, the crowd went nuts. People already had, like you said earlier, there were already people with Jericho signs ready to go.
100%.
Yeah, it was, and like you said, you just watch. You sit back and watch. This was a great one. I don't know. I guess as a heel, it's okay to take a beating promo-wise, but there is something about The Rock, like, dismantling everybody by a promo when they first get there. Go back to No Way Out. The first night the NWO finally shows up, he does the, you, Big Daddy Cool, you, Chico, oh, like fucking with him. And here he's, he got the better of Jericho in the promo. It's like almost like a hazing initiation because you're coming from WCW that you had to get beat down by The Rock in the ring verbally. Other than that, I'm excited to see Jericho now on Raw on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm really interested to see in is we've often talked about WWE and their revisionist history. If you watch the episode of the Monday Night Wars that they have on the cock, there's an episode about Jericho, and it's, all about how he got in the business, yada, yada, and it gets to this point, and then it ends with, oh, yeah, man, I almost lost my job. It was substandard. I didn't do a good job. I'm wondering if it was that much of a problem or that they made it to sound, because they basically made it sound like he was a flop with his feud with The Rock, and it put his career in jeopardy in WWE, or WWF at the time.
Well, let me ask you this question. By the end of this Raw, Rock doesn't have an opponent for SummerSlam yet.
Correct.
It ends up being, spoiler alert, Mr. Poison Ivy on my ass.
Right. Yes.
So I wonder if, because of this exact promo exchange, everything, if it was supposed to be Rock and Jericho at SummerSlam. Because all Jericho gets at the 99 SummerSlam is a fucking promo. He gets to come out and talk to the crowd. That is it. Kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go back and watch that episode until we get a few months into his
Beyond. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So we'll report back.
But let me say this. I'm not sure. Did you happen to get at any point, and I'll spoil it now, and if it comes up in your notes, you can feel free to move on. Did your version show you that SmackDown is coming to the UPN network or whatever coming up very soon, and it's going to be a new series?
I do not remember seeing that.
So it came up as a commercial in mine. Man, how about you start covering Nitro and I'll start covering SmackDown, and I'll watch Raw. One's going to be way better than the other.
No shit.
With you.
No, that's for sure.
All right. Let's move on with Raw. No, but honestly, the Jericho thing, like we said, it's one of those ones you just have to watch. Sometimes like a promo, a match, you know what's happening. You've seen it a million times. So next segment.
There you go. Bob Holly's backstage looking for the Big Show. And then you get Boss Man versus Road Dogg in a hardcore non-title match. Boss Man's defending the title against Al Snow at SummerSlam. Road Dogg gets put through a table. Then Al Snow comes out with a pet carrier and hits a heat shot to Boss Man, and Road Dogg gets the pin.
For a meaningless match. Yay.
Next, it's The Rock versus the Big Slow. Holly comes to the ring and starts running down Big Show. Big Show headbutts Holly. Rock low blows Big Show right after that, and then Jericho breaks up the People's Elbow attempt and powders, and Mr. Ass comes in and takes out The Rock. Peak Attitude Era. Main event is Triple H versus China versus Taker for the #1 contendership for the world title. Ventura's on commentary. HBK comes in after China. China's standing in the corner facing the crowd, and Michaels gets up behind her and just starts housing her. It's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Austin shows up to the arena. It's fucked up because commentary and like Ventura like gives a good flashback to why he was a great announcer. JR and King are like, Austin's here. Austin's here. Ventura's like, where? We just got word that he's in the back. He arrived at the arena. He's like, but where? I don't see Austin anywhere.
Good for him. I got to be honest. Every now and then, I love to throw back, throw on a Saturday night's main event, something like that with him.
Ventura and Monsoon.
Listening to him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, him and Monsoon. Sometimes him and Shivani for a little bit, or him and McMahon. The way he was, man.
He was good.
The best. Yeah.
Good.
And it's funny because here we are 25 years later. We're watching this, and he attended Raw last week, and you see a video with him talking with CM Punk, and it's like, wow, it's just life, full circle.
Right? Kind of crazy. Yeah. So anyway, Austin does eventually end up coming out to ringside. He has a chair heat shot to Triple H, rolls China on top of him. China gets the 3 count. JR goes, what the hell is happening here? Politicking, JR. Politicking. That's what's happening.
It's funny you say politicking. I forgot earlier when Michaels was in the middle of talking. He goes, and this is, and
yeah.
Ventura started just taking the mic away from him while Michael's trying to finish the sentence. And he goes, and this is politics.
Yep.
And then hands it back over. And Michael's like, yeah, we didn't need that part. Okay, here we go.
Thanks, Gramps.
Like, it was thanks, Gramps. All of this is still better than Heroes of Wrestling.
That is true. Well, let's see if Nitro is. It's Boise, Idaho. It's the go-home show for Road Wild. Shivani's back on commentary. Thank God for small miracles, I guess. Opening match is Norman Smiley, Prince Iaukea, and Lash LaRue versus Vampiro and Clown Guy Fieri. I mean ICP. I do love these matches because I can just skip to the end. Smiley gets some good offense and a good pop. Vampiro and the Clowns win. Malenko, Saturn, Benoit, and Shane Douglas are backstage with Dusty. Malenko wants to know if things are going to change, and Dusty says, you know what, you're all going to get that opportunity. David Flair and Tori walk by, and David Flair starts talking shit, and Benoit just puts him in a crossface and spits on him. Fucking fantastic. Dusty runs down David, tells him he's going to defend the title against Benoit tonight. Dusty's now on the executive committee, apparently. I think they talked about that. I think they talked about that at the last Road Wild. I never did anything with it.
You're right. What I love about this is looking at these four guys, and Eddie is the one that ends up being in the group and not Shane Douglas, but the rest is all of the radicals right here. Mm-hmm. It's funny to me, like WWE's like, well, we don't want you back. We had you before. We'll take Eddie. I don't think that a relationship ended on good terms. Oh, wait, he's the school teacher guy? We're good.
They just gave him Lanny Poffo's fucking gimmick, if you think about it.
You'll never get to be my age, you cocksucker.
Did you know I could suck my own cock?
What? That's Virgil. That's Virgil.
I'm pretty sure it's Lanny. Virgil just stole it from him.
I just fall off the couch every time I try.
Anyway, next you get Pubic Enema versus Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham. Again, I love matches like this. Hennig gets the pin. Next you get Little Genie versus Mona. Mona's got a pretty good reception from the fans. This wasn't great. It could have been worse. It was still better than most AEW women's matches. Then Brandy Alexander runs in post-match, and Mona fends her off. Hogan's in the locker room doing push-ups, and his son comes in.
Wasn't Mona on Who's the Boss?
Was that Alyssa Milano, or was that the mother?
No, the mother. The
mother from Mona. Soap, and the mother from Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah. Very good, very good.
Much better, Mona.
Yeah. We're not doing this. Hogan's in his locker room doing push-ups, and his kid comes in to get him for an interview. Dad, you got to do the interview. Why didn't you wear the stuff I brought you? And the kid hands him the red and yellow. And Hogan hesitates, and he goes, just hold on to it. Hogan's on his way to the ring. He gets attacked by Nash, Sid, and Rick Steiner. They drag him to the ring. Goldberg makes the save. Hogan gets on the mic and says, at Sturgis, I'm going to put the title on the line. Nash, you win, I'll retire. And tonight it's going to be 3-on-3. And then Sting says, if we win tonight, Nash, you put everything on the line. Your career specifically. Can't wait to see how this plays out. Oh, wait. And then Goldberg says, Rick Steiner, you don't have anything to put on the line, so put your ass on the line.
And I'll concuss myself on the way to the ring.
I just saw the interview with Goldberg where he talks about that like it's no big deal. Yeah, I just kind of forgot the whole match. I concussed myself on the way to the match, and then I got concussed in the match.
The Taker one? Yeah, I saw that. He wrote it off like, shit happens. You know what? This dude headbutts a locker, doesn't kill his kid. Kevin Sullivan did it. Let's go.
Have you seen the picture lately, the meme? It's Bret Hart leaning against the ropes looking dejected. He goes, when your mom says you still have to have Bill Goldberg over for Christmas.
That's a really good one.
I love this.
I've also seen the ones that are like, how bitter are you? And you just see a picture of Bret Hart.
Those Canadians, they don't let shit go, man. Benoit versus David Flair with Tori and Asia for the U.S. title. Tori's wearing a Kentucky Derby style hat. That's the big thing now. People wear those fucking hats. Heenan goes, I love hats. And then Tori turns to go up the steps, and you can see her fucking Daisy Duke she's wearing. He goes, wow, look at the back of the hat.
Come on, baby, kick them daisies. Look at them girls with the daisy dukes on. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Wow, look at the back of the hat.
Charles Robinson gets kicked out as ref. David Powders, Saturn, and Malenko drag him back to the ring. It's a squash. Malenko wins the U.S. title. But DDP runs in post-match for the beatdown Radicals. Light make the save. Benoit calls out Page, offers him a no DQ title shot at Sturgis, and mocks his two-time.
That was 3.
Yeah, I never got it either. I think we've already covered that. Gene's in the ring with Macho. Where's George? She's not here tonight. She'll be back after I take care of Rodman. Gene's trying to lead Macho into some kind of cogent promo saying, you've got 4 people on your hit list. Who's the 4th? Nash? Sid? Hogan and Rodman? That's 1. Rodman, you put your hands on George, now you will die. Gene asks, what's the surprise? We never find out if this goes nowhere. Next, you get Dave Taylor and Chris Adams versus Eddie and Ray. Crowd starts chanting USA in a match with 2 British people against 2 Mexican people.
I caught that. That happened not too long ago when we were covering.
We did see another
when
one.
Brett is from Canada, and oh my god, I can't remember who it was. But wasn't from. Oh my god, whatever it is. Oh dear God, I fucking love when people are dumb.
Mm-hmm. It happens again with Benoit and against like the New Quebecers or something. It happens in the early 2000s. It's like Benoit and Jericho. It's 2 Canadians versus 2 other Canadians, actually, I think. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Mexicans win. My Uncle Steve wouldn't be too happy about that. ICP and Vampiro run in, and Kidman makes the save.
Still don't get why we have to bleep shit out anymore.
I honestly, when I thought about it, I didn't intend to say the name. Kidman versus Disco Dingleberry.
You didn't. I did. Oh, you mean today or
Just now? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, cat's out of the bag.
It's Kidman versus Disco Dingleberry. Guess who runs in? It's a DQ. Guess who makes the save? They just did this exact same segment before the break. Disco offers his hand in friendship to Ray, Eddie, and Kidman. Kidman goes to accept the handshake. Ray cuts him off and jumps on Disco to hug him. And Disco's like, nah, get away from me. Apparently, Dick Nuts doesn't like Mexicans. Probably would get along well with my uncle. Next, you get Buff Bagwell.
The only time I've ever wished that we did a video feed of this show.
Oh my God!
I will never be able to see again your face when I named that. It was just, I felt so proud of myself.
You know, we'll probably get something out of it. We'll probably get something out of it besides a hidden track.
What, a burning cross in our front yard?
No, it hasn't happened by now. I'm surprised. Coward!
Oh, dear God. I got it. No, school ties. I got it. I was there. I was there.
There you go. Buff Bagwell versus Scott Norton. Buff cuts a promo on Cat before he enters. Shivani says, there was a Lex Luger and Miss Elizabeth sighting. They're going to be at a house show on Friday. They probably need more pills. Guess who comes out? Hint, he has red shoes. Cat gets in the ring, eats a clothesline from Norton. Ref calls for the bell. Buff hits a blockbuster on Sonny Ono, and Norton follows Cat up the ramp. Triad to the ring. DDP cuts a promo on Benoit. And they try again. Who's better than Canyon? And the crowd says everybody, but this is probably the most crowd participation he's gotten for this gimmick yet. And then Mom jokes on Harlem Heat. So you get Booker T with Stevie Ray versus Canyon with the Triad. Ref bump, interference, Canyon wins. Gene is in the ring with Dennis Rodman. Gene cannot stop complimenting Rodman on his outfit. Rodman looks like he's going to a boxing match in the late 70s. Rodman says, George wants to be with me. And then he tries to say macho, and he can't say it, so he just calls him asshole. And Macho comes out, and they go up the ramp. What everybody's been waiting for. Main event, Sid, Rick Steiner, and Kevin Nash versus Sting, Goldberg, and Hogan. The faces get their own entrances separately. And like you had referenced, either on the break or not, kayfabe pal, Goldberg now is using that crappy Megadeth song as his entrance music, and they seamlessly, and I mean, the transition was pretty good, I have to admit.
Oh, it was nice. If it was at a club, nice transition from one song to the other. 100%. I did mention that on air, yes.
100%. Goes right into Hogan's classic WCW music, the bootleg version of Real American. And he comes out in the yellow and red. Shivani, Heenan pop. The crowd got a pretty good pop. I mean, it's a return. Pop, pop, pop. So basically the beginning of the match is just the faces getting in offense and popping. The crowd, the heels take over. Sid grabs a chair, but Hogan takes it from him. Hits very Hogan-esque chair shots to Sid. Then Nash. Sting locks in the Scorpion Deathlock. Gets the submission. Good night, everybody.
It was not a bad show, to be honest with you, for Nitro. New champion. Kind of a big return, 3 years in the making, with Hogan. Wasn't too bad overall for Nitro. I thought it was pretty decent overall.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah. But now, sometimes Nitro can be a touch, what's the word I want to call? Overrated. But is the Fab Four? Let's go to the top topic.
Not like I'm Ringo.
Well, lads, what do you think of the new album cover?
Great, but it won't look good when it's shrunk down for a CD.
CD? What's a CD?
A digital compact disc.
Ringo, are you from the future?
Yeah, and I outlived 2 of you.
Which 2? Yeah, come on, Ringo. Tell us.
Okay, but you all have to agree to do my song about the octopus.
Hey, before you tell us, I'm going to go and smoke 1,000 cigarettes.
And I'm going to move to New York City and walk in and out of my building.
But I bet you can't answer this question. Brandy, what is love?
John Lennon said love is the answer. He also said, no thanks, every hot woman. I'll take this woman crawling out of the well from the ring who none of my friends like.
Yeah, I bet they were all like, oh no.
Downloading Yoko Ono.
Oh no.
Downloading more Yoko Ono.
No, oh no.
Downloading all Yoko Ono.
Oh no. I don't care for this music either, David.
Great. This was a bigger waste of time than Ringo's songwriting.
Hey guys, I wrote a song.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good, Ringo.
Fantastic. You know what? I'm going to put it right here. Right on the refrigerator. That way we'll get to see it every day.
Oh, right.
What are you doing? You're not actually going into an asteroid field.
Well, it's either that or go into the strawberry fields.
You know what I'm getting into? Is one-legged chicks.
Yeah, Paul, what's your new wife's name? Peg?
That'll be enough of that, lad.
How about Eileen?
Ha! Ringo got it.
Look here, you're obviously taking us for saps, but we're not. Now fess up or I'll do to you what I did to John Lennon. John, have you met Yoko, John?
I'm in love with Paul.
I'm in love with John.
You know what? I'm in love with Ringo.
What?
I said, I don't know what I said.
Sounded like you said you were in love with Ringo.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure you said I'm in love with Ringo. Here I am.
Are Paul and John out there?
Nope, just Ringo.
All you need is love. I want to hold your hand. She loves you. Love me do. Bitch, why don't we do it in the road? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Beatles this week. And, we're mixing it up, right? We did a lot of movies. Maybe we'll go back one day. Maybe we'll do more movies and TV shows. But, again, what you and I talked about before, music brought you and I together originally, even before wrestling. But even more so, it was the Beatles. It was this exact band that I remember being at not Pat Pap's, what's the fucking golf course? Ladder-Lee. And I remember, I think it was Crosby getting pissed off because he was trying to tee off, and you're like, hey, have you heard this one before? And you're just putting it up in my ear and listening. I'm like, oh, it's a good one. And it's funny because they had released all their albums digitally where you're able to get them all. And it was around that time. And I told you earlier before we started recording, I went through several spurts where it's just nonstop Beatles. A couple years ago, I even wrote up a thing where I was like, I'm curious, what's everybody's favorite album? Because there's a lot of different ones. You know, a lot of people like Abbey. A lot of people like Sgt. Pepper's. Me, White Album's always one of my favorite ones, personally. But the question is there's a lot of people out there that are naysayers. There are a lot of people that say the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, are overrated. So let me ask you, ODM, do you think in any way that they are overrated?
No. On to my final thoughts for the week.
I love it.
You knew this was going to be an easy one. Let me give you a peek into the soul of my fandom. I believe it was for our anniversary or Valentine's Day. I honestly don't remember. We usually don't do gifts for things like that. No, my wife. Thank you for clarifying. I'm glad that got clarified. This is what I got, and of course I'm going to have to fucking reach and take shit off of it because it's sitting here. I got this big ass fucking 2-book set that you can barely see because I have a virtual background, so you're not going to be able to see it. But it's pretty fucking big. And what it is it's basically a 2-book set of every Paul McCartney song that he has a writing credit on, and the lyrics to the song, and a story about how it came to be. It's called Paul McCartney, The Lyrics.
Nice. So let me ask you this question. It's a couple of questions here, but I'm going to ask you about your favorite Beatle in a moment. But I'm curious, why do people say they are overrated? Do you have an idea as to why? Is it just because overplayed, or is it kind of like me, where I'm like, fuck Dave Matthews?
Mm-hmm. I think it's that phenomenon. Anybody who says they're overrated and untalented is just a hater and has either neither taken the time to listen. What? Am I fucking wrong? Am I fucking wrong?
No, I'm laughing because your background today is Cody Rose, and there's a sign that says overrated in the background, and it just now occurred to me. This is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Man. Hey. No, I mean, they're just haters and they don't give a shit. They never taken the time to really, form a valuable opinion. And some people might be like me with Dave Matthews. I'm not saying Dave Matthews isn't talented. I'm not saying he doesn't make good music. I just don't fucking like him.
I don't like his fans.
Well, there's that too.
Dave Matthews.
There's a few.
Honest to God, I swear to God, people are like, yeah, but Dave is so good.
Dave.
It's just his first fucking name, and I don't know why it bothers me.
Did I tell you about the time when I was living in the city? Somebody broke. I had just bought it for a buddy of mine. He couldn't get tickets, so I got him 2 Dave Matthews tickets. I kept them in the glove box. I forgot to grab them. I go back in the house. I come out the next day. Car was broken into. There were 4 Dave Matthews tickets in my glove box.
As old as time.
I know.
As soon as you started it, I go, I know where he's going with this. It's a good
let's
joke,
talk about the Beatles.
Especially when you get people with it. I'm like, yo, you got to hear what happened. When you sell
That's the
it
best part.
hard,
you can do it with
it's
Taylor
the
Swift
best.
too. You can do it with Taylor Swift too.
Oh yeah, Nickelback, anybody. Which, by the way,
Save that one.
I don't get why Nickelback gets a bad rap. I don't get it. I still like whatever. Anyway, well, maybe they're a band we got to talk about one day. Yeah, put it on the list. They just made the list. Look at this graph. But back to the Beatles. I think a lot of people do only know the hits, what they hear on the radio. A lot of the deeper stuff has always been some of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
One that Marty got me into is For No One.
Oh, that's off of Revolver. Revolver's a fucking fantastic album.
And Marty was doing is it a trumpet? He does that on the bass, and I will never forget the first night he and I did it at, I think it was like an open mic, and when he did it, everybody was like, motherfucker, yeah, because they knew the song. Yeah. Everybody's like, holy shit. It's I like that one.
Here, I can look it up in the book real quick if you want.
No, we're good, but let me ask you this question. It leads me to this question. Who is yours? Who is your favorite? Is it Harrison, Starr, Lennon, or McCartney? You look like a Ringo guy.
Yeah, of course you do. Go fuck your mother.
Yo, my mother-in-law loves.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Ringo.
you wouldn't mind fucking your mother-in-law. You got to fucking.
No,
go
she's
easy
a
there,
very
killer.
big fan of Ringo.
So is Marge Simpson. Let's see here. It's tough. It's between McCartney and Lennon. I love Harrison. I think he's very underrated as a guitarist, as a songwriter, as a singer. But let's be honest, Lennon and McCartney. I'll tell you this much. So here's my thing. McCartney. I don't know if you've ever watched Amadeus, the movie.
No.
It's about Salieri and being jealous of Mozart, right? And basically Salieri, says that Mozart is God's voice. Like the way Mozart writes music, it's God's voice speaking indirectly. That's how I think of McCartney. McCartney is the only thing you could use on this earth to prove to me that God exists. But I like Lennon better because Lennon, and it's a quote from fucking The Departed, I'm an artist. You give me a tuba, I'll get something out of it. And that's the beauty of it, because when you listen to a lot of Lennon songs, like McCartney songs are introspective, they're deep, they make you think, they make you cry. Lennon fucking just took shit. Happiness is a Warm Gun. He saw that on a magazine cover. You Know My Name, look up the number. He was waiting for Paul. He looked at a fucking phone book. That's another deep track right there. For the benefit of Mr. Kite, it's literally an old circus poster. He's just reading the lyrics. I read the news today. Oh boy, he fucking read it from a newspaper. He just took normal shit and he fucking made something beautiful out of it. So I got to go with John Lennon on that one.
I loved you.
That if you watch the Beatles, I got real quick. Beatles Anthology. Remember that series that came out, the Beatles Anthology?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fucking fantastic.
1995?
5, yes.
96, somewhere around. Yep, 95.
5,
Because I remember the albums. My brother
Still having the
was getting the
outtakes.
double disc albums. Yep.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Love those.
Fantastic. Free
Yep.
as a Bird they did on there.
Real Love is one of my favorite jams.
Same here. Real Love is fucking beautiful.
Free as a Bird is really good. Free as a Bird. Not Free Bird, but Free as a Bird was good. But I like
Real Love is fucking fantastic.
Way more.
Yeah, so much better. So what I was going to get to was at one point they talk about recording A Day in the Life, and they've got George Martin in the studio, and he's fucking at the board. He's got all the original masters, which his son now has. His son is the only one in the world that has access to the Beatles master tapes. That's how fucking valuable this shit is. So George Martin's in there, and it's the first part where he just sings that opening verse to A Day in the Life, and he almost breaks down, and because it's just his vocals, and he goes, John, in a haunting voice as ever, and he just stops and he just stares. Because imagine hearing John Lennon sing like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fucking spine chilling.
It's funny because I had to start doing a tally. I was like, well, if I'm going to say one of these guys is my favorite Beatle, let me look at all the songs. To me, that's got to be the main thing, Who wrote and made and performed a lot of these songs I like. Kind of like a pros and cons list, except it was a Lennon-McCartney list. I started to realize I was more of a McCartney fan than I thought I was.
Sure.
I thought I was a full-blown Lennon. I'm like, Lennon's my guy, and I loved Imagine and Nobody Told Me There'd Be Days Like These. All this shit.
Yeah. Jealous Guy.
I loved his solo stuff. Jealous Guy is an amazing fucking song, yes. But when it came to the Beatles, I'm more of a McCartney fan than I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, same thing as you. George Harrison, it's the underrated guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ringo, poor fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's funny because you probably heard some of the Family Guy outtakes. I outlived 2 of you.
The best part is Ringo wrote a song. Oh, hey, we're going to put this up on the fridge.
That and then, I love Ringo. Did somebody say they love Ringo? Oh, nope, that wasn't me.
Hey, did you notice? You notice that all that's left in the Beatles is a bass player and a drummer, and the Rolling Stones are missing a bass player and a drummer?
It'll never happen, but that'd be one hell of a fucking tour. Man, if they did both
catalogs,
Rolling Stones and the Beatles tour, yeah, oh shit. That's a ticket to buy. And what I like
not a
about
ticket
McCartney,
to ride though.
Yeah, I got it. What I like about McCartney, watch his shows, man. Dude doesn't fucking drink. for 2.5 hours, doesn't even take a sip of water mostly.
I've seen him.
I'm like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw him in
You sent me
concert.
the video
Yeah.
of him doing Here Today, the John Lennon
Oh,
early song
yeah.
by John Lennon.
Yeah.
That one always gets me because I bought his, actually my wife bought me, it was like a night in New York City or some shit like that. Because I had a couple of different live albums of his.
Mm-hmm.
One was like Goodnight New York or something like that. I can't fucking fully remember. But the more recent one was at like Madison Square Garden, and he does his song Here Today, and you hear him like kind of choke up at the end. I'm like, God damn, it's a good jam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, just if anybody hasn't read or heard that song, that's a jam. You
It
gotta
applies
listen
to everybody.
Oh my God, it's such a good song. Just like it's you can't say goodbye anymore to this dude, but you know that was his dude. They were side by side for years, whether they fought or not. Still, and so yeah, I'd have to say Ringo.
Pop quiz hotshot. What's his real name?
Ringo Starr?
Yeah.
I don't know Dennis Hopper. Pop quiz
nice.
hotshot.
Yeah, no, nice. Richard.
Yeah, that's
Starkey.
where I was going. All right.
Richard Starkey.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Ringo Starr a little bit better.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's funny because you'd mentioned Ticket to Ride a minute ago. I got to bring this up. Every time I ever went and played at the open mic where Dave, my mentor, everybody that out there in the blues stuff, and I would get up, and I only had like a handful of songs that I would play when I first started getting up live, and he always wanted me to do Three Dog Nights, Never Been to Spain. And when you get to the part where, but I kind of like the Beatles, he does a quick version of Ticket to Ride. He goes, right before I get into my next part. I'm like, and every time I look over and we just fucking like smile, I'm like, it's so slick how he just puts that right in there, man. I'm like, because it's, instead of just playing the right riff, he's doing Ticket to Ride, which is only the musicians are really catching it on stage. We're all like,
sure.
Nice. Everybody else is like, sure.
Way to go, fella.
When they're drunk. Yeah, way to go, fella. And again, I had to bring it up as to why they are necessarily overrated, and I think it's just, like you said, it's the people who haven't really, you know what? I will say this. That Boy's wife used to be the biggest. Actually, That Boy as well. We're the biggest naysayers I've ever seen of the Beatles. Like, whatever, they're meh. And then all of a sudden, it was just jerk-off city to the Beatles. They loved the Beatles. They loved everything about the Beatles. And I'm like, well, take your
That's the flip side of saying they're overrated.
Right. Well, it's like you got to dive in. That's just me personally. Well, that does it for another fucking awesome show. You know what I mean? Like, we're pretty fucking awesome. Anyway, yeah. Next week is our season finale for season 5, and we got a lot of things in store. You're going to be talking about UWF. Is that correct?
That is correct. I've already began my note-taking process. Got some hard facts here ready to quote my sources. And you might get a good glimpse into the mind of TK with this episode, this top topic.
Are drugs being provided for this so I can get in the right frame of mind?
You are in California. I'm sure you can handle that on your end.
But not only that, we will be talking about everything. We're going to take a look back at everything that the Top of Wrestling has predicted for just season 5 alone. Now, yeah, that's 99 episodes or 98 at that point, but I'll be honest with you, we're good at our jobs.
That's a pretty goddamn big list.
It is a very big list, and the good news is I guess we're going to be making a new one in just a couple of weeks when season 6 gets started. I am the Professor. He is ODM. I always love to bid you a farewell, and he always loves to leave you with his final thoughts of the week.
Thanks, Professor. You know, I'm sorry. I cannot stop staring at your background picture. I like big butts, and I can't lie. See you next week, folks. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM, the Doc, Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
Shit, there was something I was going to bring up, I think, before we started recording. Hang on, let's see. That, need him, got him, need him, got him, need him, got him. Can you name the movie?
I knew it as soon as you said it, but I don't know. I can't place the movie. Was it Baseball Cards?
It is
Cards?
Baseball Cards,
yeah.
And it's Howie Mandel.
Little Monsters?
Little Monsters. Baseball card. Oh, I love baseball cards. Need him, got him, need him, got him. And then he starts pointing at his dick.
Now that you mention it, I think I'm bleeding inside my chest.
Video of Samantha Irvin. Whoever keeps videoing her and her reactions, keep doing it. It's fun. Her reaction to Liv and Dom.
Mommy!
You saw that, right? Hey, Mommy! But like when she saw them kiss and she was... She's kind of funny to watch, man. I enjoy it.
She's awesome.
Mommy!
And she's got dumps like a truck. Truck.
I'm like, what?
Little late, but it works.
I got it. All right.